Hello and welcome to our modern money journey. Just a brief reminder that I am not a licensed professional. This is not investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 10 of our Modern Money Journeys Build a Portfolio series, where every single month I deposit $100 into my Webull account, we take a look at the markets together, and then we make a purchase to add to my Webull account. We've got a lot to go over today, so let's jump on in, take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll take a look at the markets. So as you can see, we deposited the $100 this month, and then the markets basically ate it away. So what has, caused this decline? Well, we can look. Our CRISPR purchase from last month is down about $7, which that is not going to be enough to cause this. We're down, a few dollars on our medical properties trust and our SLVO silver play. And now we're actually down, a good chunk on our Virgin Galactic play. But all of these together are still not enough to cause this much decline. So what was it? Well, even though we're still up on our Bitcoin and Ethereum plays, it was them declining in price. Let's real quickly take a look at traditional markets, and then we'll hop over and take a look at the cryptocurrency markets and talk about the chaos that is going on there. So in traditional markets, the S&P 500, as you can see, has started to maybe put in a local top. So there's a possibility that we'll be seeing some good buying opportunities or a strong pullback in the equities markets, or at least the equities markets indexes. And we may be able to finally put in some positions in those locations. So interesting stuff starting to form here, maybe buying opportunity coming up in the future. Taking a look over at metals, gold has started to climb back up again, and that's probably, in correlation with some of the fears starting to stoke in the equities market. Let's take a look at silver. Silver's starting to climb again a little bit as well. Hopefully, this climbing price in silver will drive that SLVO play that we have back up. And then, as we can see, the dollar has continued its decline. So, a little bit of changes in the equities markets. Metals are starting to climb again. Dollar's declining as usual. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. It is an absolute bloodbath, and honestly, things have actually recovered a bit. A little bit ago, Bitcoin was down to like 36,000, almost 30,000. So it's recovered, but prices are still super, super low. Altcoins are just struggling. Ethereum's under 3,000. Ethereum's under 3,000. So the question is this a buying opportunity, or is this actually letting us know that the top is in for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies this cycle? Let's dive into some data and really figure it out. So hopping over to lookintobitcoin.com, they have dozens of technical analysis charts and on-chain data analysis charts, so I highly suggest you check them out. Go look at lookintobitcoin.com. So this is the number of Bitcoin wallets holding greater than 1 Bitcoin, and as you can see, it's kind of been declining a little bit as we've had this recent decline, but it hasn't started to progress any faster of a decline in wallets as this sell-off has progressed. So nothing too scary there, but could potentially be indicator of the top. Looking at number of addresses holding greater than 10 Bitcoin, it's been slightly increasing for a while, over the last year, and then has started to drop ever since we reached up into these, $50,000-$60,000 price range. So this is a clear sign of, people holding greater than 10 Bitcoin taking profit, which normally starts to happen near top. But let's keep going. This is the number of wallets holding greater than 100 Bitcoin, and as you can see, they've stayed pretty flat. So yes, people with more than 10 Bitcoin have been selling off. People with greater than 100 Bitcoin really haven't done anything. So the decent sized big whales, and take a look, there's 16,000 addresses in this range. It hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed that much. But now let's, take a look at the greater than 1,000 Bitcoin. It has been declining steeply since Bitcoin reached up in this $50,000, $60,000 price range, which this indicates that mega whales have been taking profit. There are other, instances of things that could happen to make this data appear like this on this charts other than just selling off, but most likely this is what's been occurring. So we've seen that mega whales have taken a little bit of profit, a couple hundred wallets, 200 wallet decline, maybe 250 wallet decline. But then we've seen anyone holding over 100 Bitcoin, wallets holding over 100 Bitcoin, have stayed relatively flat, and that's tens of thousands of wallet addresses. So, but we do have profit taking going on. But let's move on, there's still more to look at. This is the 1 year hodl wave, so this is the number of, or the amount of Bitcoin being held in wallets for longer than 1 year. And as you can see, we're starting to see a decline here as Bitcoin got up into the $50,000, $60,000 price range. The number of Bitcoin that had been held onto for a year started to decline. However, if you look at the structure of this hodl wave, it looks very similar to the structure of the 2013 bull run. We have this nice bump and then a decline where it flattens out, and then it stays flat for a while. We've had this nice bump and it's starting to decline, and it looks like we're starting to flatten out. So let's keep this idea in mind that this bull run may in fact be more like the 2013-2014 bull run than the 2016-2017 bull run. Let's move on to the next chart and see what it says. The pi cycle top indicator. So this is graphs two different moving averages versus each other, and has done relatively well at indicating macro tops of the market. So we can see here there was, if we zoom in, this line is where it predicts the top. So if we zoom back out, you can see that there was two here in the 2013 bull run. And if we switch to pan, we can pan over and see there was one that actually was indicated before the actual top in the first Bitcoin bull run. So the question is, we just put in one of those indicators. Is this cycle going to be like 2017 where we only had one indicator top put in, or is it going to be like 2013 where we had two indicator tops put in? Let's move on to the stock to flow model, and I think we'll get a little bit more clarity on this here. So if we look, this is the stock to flow model. So the model is this maroon price, and then the color-coded dots are the the actual price of Bitcoin. And if we look where we are right now, we're in this orange phase transitioning into yellow, climbing up the model's predicted increase in value because of the halvening event. So after each one of these halvenings, the model where the supply of the supply subsidy of Bitcoin mining gets cut in half every 4 years, and then this model predicts an increase in the price after one of those halvings occurs. These color-coded dots, as you can see, relate to the price by the halving. So this purple is when the halving occurred. So we had a halving right here, and then the price has been increasing. We had a halving right here, and then the price increase. We had a halving right here, and the price increase. So these 3 bull runs all occurred after the halvings, and this was the original bull run. So let's stick to these 3 though, and look at where we are at in previous. So in the previous, we had a relatively smooth bull run. Yes, there was this little dip here in the yellow transitioning into green, but macro trend-wise, it wasn't that big of a pullback. If we go back to the 2013 bull run, in this same time frame, orange transitioning into yellow, orange transitioning into yellow, we had a pretty steep pullback where Bitcoin retraced from $230 clear down to 66. That's greater than a 50% decline. Honestly, I think we could see a greater than 50% decline from the top. I think we could see Bitcoin back down to $30,000. I know that scares a lot of people, but this was a huge run-up, and we have the evidence that a lot of profit taking is occurring. If we go back and look at the greater than 10, we can see it's slowing down, the profit taking, or the decrease in the rate of these wallets is slowing down. So the profit taking from this range of people, is potentially slowing down. So the rate of selling off is slowing down as the price of Bitcoin has been dropping, and the rate of people buying it back up, should start picking up here soon, as we've seen the price recover back from 30,000. So, going back to stock to flow model, just to reiterate, I think it's likely that we see some sort of behavior like this, but played out in 2013, where we overshoot the model and then have a big decline in this time frame relative to the halvening. So we could see a big decline before we have our second phase of the bull run, where we tremendously overshoot the model. Let's move on to Bitcoin's logarithmic growth curves. Once again, in 2013, we shot up over the middle bar, this middle yellow bar, corrected below it, and then in the second phase shot up to the upper bound. In 2017, it was a pretty smooth ride, clear up to the top. Here in 2020-21, we're climbing up. We breached above the middle bound, and now we are starting to correct, and it looks like we're getting to correct below it. And we never reached that upper bound like we did in all previous bull runs. So I think this is a pretty good indicator, along with all the other data that we've looked at so far, to show that this bull run is behaving more similar to 2013 than 2017. We're probably going to see a continued pullback, a consolidation phase like we saw here, and then another huge run-up. Let's move on to our last indicator, which is the MVRV Z-Score, which is the market cap minus the realized market cap divided by the standard deviation of the market cap, which that is this maroon line, which oscillates between this green and red bar. And as we can see in the past, this oscillator has always come up and spent a little bit of time in this red bar. We've not breached the bottom of it. We've not spent any amount of time. The oscillator itself, this maroon line, has not spent any time in this zone for this bull run. So according to this indicator, which has been pretty accurate the last couple bull runs, according to it, we've not seen the end of this bull run. We've not seen the peak. And once, if we go back and look at 2013, it had two peaks in here. That first phase of the run up, the pullback, and then the second phase. This might be our first phase. We're in the pullback. It came down, the MVRV Z-Score pulled back, almost back down into this green zone during this pullback and then consolidation phase. We're pretty pulled back. So this might be entering into buy territory, but I also think it's showing us that the bull run is not over, or is likely not over. So taking into account flow of Bitcoin from addresses, looking at the different models and Bitcoin's price, I believe that we're going to see a potential further pullback in Bitcoin's price to the low 30,000 and just hang out in 30,000. I think it really quickly wicked down to 30,000, but the bull run is not over. So let's go to Webull. So let's go to trade. Yeah, so looking here, on Webull, Bitcoin wicked down, clear down into the $30,000 range, and we're back up to 37, almost 38,000. I think it's likely that we come down and oscillate or consolidate in this range for a while before firing back up and climbing to the $100,000 to $150,000 price target that I have for this bull run top. So with this tremendous buying opportunity presenting itself, I'm going to use a little bit of the money from the $100 that we deposited in this month to purchase a little bit more Bitcoin and add to our Bitcoin position. So let's do us a purchase. Let's just make it a market order. Let's make sure to switch this over to dollars, and we're just going to do 25 American dollars to add a little bit to our position. Let's place the order. Let's hit continue. Let's place the order again, I guess. Let's buy. And there we go. Order filled. Let's go back to our account. And we've added a little bit to our Bitcoin position. Alright, all you bulls and bears, we'll see you next time.